Olá galera, beleza? Vamos continuando com a série de Fallout New Vegas. Bom galera, depois de ter finalizado a DLC aqui de Dead Money, né? Agora vamos ingressar na terceira DLC do jogo. Eu preciso ir aqui agora. Cinema ao ar livre de Mojave. Então vamos pra lá, vamos viajar até Nipton. Arrumei meus itens, né? Descarreguei. Tava bem pesado. Opa! Sai pra lá. Tô quase indo pro nível 39, hein, mano. Vamos pra lá então. O armamento que eu vou levar pra essa DLC aqui, ó. Essas armas aqui. Só arma pesada, né, mano? Submetralhadora 12.7mm, a meia sniper da campanha de Goob, o rifle antimatéria, range sequoia. Sei que eu não posso largar fora, não sei porquê. A escopeta anti-tumulto. Fiz cartuchos de moedas com os denários da legião, né? Fiz cartucho de escopeta com as moedas do denário da legião como munição, como chumbo. Deve dar um dano bem alto esses cartuchos aqui. A minha carabina de atirador de elite, bowie, knife e binóculo. Até lá então, vamos ingressar na terceira, na penúltima DLC do jogo. A última DLC vai ficar lá em cima, galera, aqui ó. Ficar lá em cima ela. Aqui. Essa parte que não faz muito tempo que eu passei nela, por isso que tá meio tranquila. Eu acho da hora essa DLC aqui, mano. Satélite que caiu. Quanto é que tá meu peso? Tá meio alto, mas tá bom. Vamos ver. Essa DLC aqui é a mais baixa. A que eu fui era nível 25. A primeira DLC do Lonesome Road. A segunda DLC pedia nível 20 da Dead Money. E essa daqui pede nível 15. Deveria ter ido nessa daqui primeiro, né? Mas tudo bem. Você tem a premonição. Que você estará... Não entendi isso aqui. Eita, me teletransportou. O nome dessa DLC então, Old World Blues, Velho Mundo Azul. Velhos mundos azuis.
In the years before the Great War, Big Mountain had been the home to the brightest minds of the 21st century. Scientists of vision were drawn to the facility to tackle the greatest technological challenges of the era. They sought to create a new world, fueled by technology, for the benefit of all mankind.
Cheio de tecnologia.
Sonic emitters, space-age alloys, DNA hybridization, force field particle research, autodoc advances in cranial, cardiac and trauma surgery. The hopes and dreams of a century became realities in the electronic forges of Big Mountain. The nucleus of this research was the Dome. A huge stone facility that held the labs of every science known to man. It was a think tank where no problem could not be solved, where no question could not be answered. The Great War brought a new energy to Big Mountain and its scientists. Although sheltered from the front lines, the scientists waged their own war, fighting their battles at the atomic level. Equations and calculations marched endlessly across chalkboards and computer terminals toward one solution: winning the war. For years, the minds and computers of Big Mountain were a blaze of trajectories, weapon schematics, and nuclear theories. The problems began to outpace the solutions, first geometrically, then exponentially. As the war escalated, so did the questions. On the night of October 23rd, 2077, the scientists received an answer that put all their questions to rest. In the aftermath, Big Mountain's silent experiments went to sleep, their creators slowly dying in the new world that had been left behind. And the great stone in the middle of the Big Empty lay untouched, filled with countless technological wonders. Wonders that, in the end, had been answers to the wrong question.
Lugar misterioso, hein, mano? Tentaram construir um novo mundo cheio de tecnologia. Só que tem obscuridade aí, hein? Olha. Mapa do lugar, ó. Cidade dentro de uma montanha, mano. Muito bom. Nossa, tô com uma roupa de paciente aqui, cara. Não vou pegar essas coisas, não. Bom que essa DLC aqui tem... Ela tem umas armas um pouco mais fracas, né? Então eu não preciso pegar muita coisa aqui. Isso aqui depois eu acho que vai virar minha casa, pelo que eu me lembro. Ah, um cofre para guardar minhas coisas. Cara, se Fallout New Vegas tivesse esquema de construção igual o Fallout 4, caramba, mano. Olha aqui que da hora. O Mug. Tá tudo desativado, tá tudo danificado, que eu não tenho nenhuma interação ainda. Aqui eu preciso de chave. Ah, aqui depois eu vou poder fazer plantio, ó. Aqui. Ó. Tô com algum problema aqui, né, que eu tô com uma sensação que eu não posso puxar a arma nesse lugar. Eu acho que esses aqui são cientistas. Eu acho que meio que eles se imortalizaram dentro desses robôs aqui com o cérebro deles.
I thought I heard the pacification field kick in. All right, shh. Nobody move. I'll handle this. Be warned, intruder. You are in the presence of a mighty think tank of Big Mountain. The collective geniuses of... We... By Oppenheimer, which one of you self-professed geniuses has been adjusting my volume knob? Who was it? Was it you, 8? Oh, Dr. O, was it? Likely story. O couldn't spark 2 neurons if they were in a lattice of biomed gel.
What? Me? Breaking news, Klein. It wasn't me, all right? I'm the robotical engineer. 8 is sound waves. That's his specialty. You always do this. You always demean me in front of guests. And it's not O, all right? It's...
Enough! Either of you do it again, it'll be the last
Esse
time.
robô tá mais louco do que... Tá doidão, né?
Great. Now I forgot what I was saying. What was I talking about? Did it just say something? Anyone catch that? Boros, you work with animals. Translate.
Boros, você trabalha com animais, traduza.
Oh, as if this situation couldn't get any worse. Now we've got lobotomites. Dala, get the spray before it
Eles acham que eu tô lobotomizado.
Dr. Klein, if my hypothesis is correct, this lobotomite is the repository of the brain we sent the signal to, the skin envelope once containing it. If so, it's proof that there may indeed be something beyond the crater. Just look at it. The way it blinks. It's like a big, hairless teddy bear.
I know what it is, Dollar. I want to know why it's down here. With its
Ele quer saber por que eu tô aqui.
Everything. And are those penises I see wriggling on its feet? Disgusting.
I believe those are toes, Dr. Klein. Little teddy bear toes. Penises are much larger than those tiny extremities. Not that I would know.
I don't recall the human penis ever being that large.
It depends on one's own frame of reference, Dr. O. Look at its little nose with its 2 orifices for ingesting oxygen.
Noses? By the great static. These lobotomites confound me with their sheer number of useless extremities.
Esses robôs acham que eu tô lobotomizado.
Now it's holding up an array of fully erect hand penises. If it tries to insert them, activate vivisectors. Dr. Klein, wait. I don't believe those gestures were random. Random at all. It's been following our conversation. The lobotomite understands us.
I agree with Boros's histrionic findings. This little lobotomite is unusually attentive for something whose brain has been extracted.
Nonsense! Lobotomites can't comprehend us!
8, have you been in the mentats again? If we slow down our oral processoreceptors to understand this excretion, we'll all be rendered ignorant.
All of you, power down, shut up, and let me prove once and for all how wrong you all are. As usual. Lobotomite, do you understand?
Caramba, será que eles não estão me entendendo, velho?
Can you speak? Those were words, weren't they? In the form of questions. It's asking me questions. Is this some kind of trick? Our efforts have turned against us. In playing God, we created a monster.
Será que fizeram lobotomia mesmo?
We were ruthlessly lobotomizing it with our cutters.
Estranho.
We filled the skin envelope with awareness. A teddy bear with new stuffing.
Wait. If what you're theorizing is this lobotomite understands us, can reason with us.
Then this may be just the answer we've been looking for. At last, a chance to... Dr. Klein, a transmission from the Forbidden Zone, coming right at us. It can only be...
If it isn't my old colleagues, the mighty think tank of Big Mountain. Big fools, all of you. It is I, Dr. Mobius, transmitting from my dome-shaped dome in the Forbidden Zone. A zone that is, yes, forbidden to you. Even now, my deadly robo-scorpions swarm across Big Mountain with their pincers and pointy laser tails. Soon, all science will be mine! Even the technology sealed in the Big Mountain research centers cannot save you. So cower in your think tank. Wait for the end. That's all. Goodbye.
Vamos ver aqui então o que eu coloco. Fechar as 97 em armas.
Mobius. Always the same broadcast. He's clearly mad, driven insane by his flawed and imprecise kindergarten-level research methodology.
What are we going to do? There's no way we can breach the Forbidden Zone. There's those robot scorpions everywhere.
The Forbidden Zone, where no brain has ever entered, nor ever returned.
Except Dr. Mobius, and the technologies that could save us. They are out of our reach.
And Dr. Mobius mocks us. Did you see his cracked monitor? He's clearly let himself go.
What? Ask the lobotomite for help? Hey, I think you need the fluid levels in your logic.
Pedir ajuda para o lobotomizado.
If this lobotomite responded,
Eles vão mandar alguma quest pra mim aqui agora.
It's clearly intelligent. Perhaps even displays heretofore unknown levels of
Eu consigo entender algumas coisas, mas algumas eu não entendo, não.
We scooped that out. We don't even know where we left it. And for putting it back in, none of us have the knowledge.
Yes, but it's still aware and responsive. Look at it. It's regarding us even now, with its big teddy bear eyes. If we ask it politely, and leave the part about the unnecessary, ruthless lobotomizing out, it might be favorably disposed to us. We removed your brain, yes.
Nossa, removeu meu cérebro.
Soft, barely wrinkled, yet so flush
Então
with
fizeram lobotomia em mim mesmo.
experience.
Puta merda.
Brain extraction technology has been standard practice.
Extraíram meu cérebro pra estudá-lo.
Once the brain was out, then came the coils. The Tesla coils. The coils of Nikola Tesla.
Brain Pack. O seu cérebro foi recolocado com tecnologias, né? Cru, mais 25 de resistência, choque from pod da magia.
Yeah, no need to brag.
Ganhei benefício.
Wherever your brain is, it's transmitting thoughts to you through the
Tudo que eu absorver vai transmitir para eles também.
The Tesla coils in its head.
This is fortunate in many respects.
Engraçado como é que eu tava caminhando sem cérebro, isso que eu não entendi, cara.
Why you could access your aggression centers.
Circumventing the pacification field. This is a no-no. We have never been in a fight. We do not want that. Reminds me of my days in American High. And Richie Marcus.
Vamos ver.
Darla, was it necessary this time?
I assume full responsibility. I take my duties in the prodding and excision of living, breathing tissue quite seriously. Although in truth, the autodoc had done most of the work already. Quite industrious, almost cut into all my investigations. Once it had removed the brain and I misplaced it, other organs began to cry for direction, using your nerves as telegraph wires. Rather than let them send their signals, I removed them as well. Shh, little organs. Go to sleep in your tanks. Dala loves you.
First was the heart.
Heartless Perk. Ó. Vamos ver. Eu não posso mais me envenenar. E os filtros do seu sangue artificial. Parece que eles vão. Não sei se eles vão filtrar alguma coisa, não entendi. Parece que eu tenho 50% de chance de causar críticos em robôs agora.
Oh wait, I mean, second was the heart.
Cheio de benefício.
Brain was first. Third was the spine.
Spineless Perk. No meu dorsal agora. Cara, não entendi se eu... a minha dorsal não vai mais ser lesionada. Quando eu levar tiro não vai mais baixar a durabilidade dela. Meu dano, o DT aumentou em mais 1. Não sei se é minha defesa.
Totally overrated, that arrangement of vertebrae.
Colocar uma vértebra modificada.
My lumbar and thoracic curvature. Never had a use for any of that. Spineless is what I prefer.
To be correct, you should say, the autodoc took out your brain. It did all the heavy lifting. It has never worked so hard before. It was unusual. It worked so hard on your surgery, it destroyed its own memory. How odd. I bet your brain remembers what happened.
That autodoc junk heap was one of Mobius's creations, like the rest of the talking scrap metal in the attic.
After that, the brain lost itself. Not in the metaphysical sense. Might have gotten flushed into one of the pipes. Actually, that's pretty likely.
If so, it was flushed all the way to Mobius. Flush! That is the sound of flushing. By the Fisher of Rolando, enough of this biological surgery talk. Lobotomite, listen to my voice. It denominates me to ask, but we need your help.
Vai me dar uma
In
question.
most probable of probabilities, our enemy, Mobius, has your brain. This is not good. He will most likely come after our brains next. We want you to stop him, somehow, with science.
Preciso parar um tal de Mobius. Primeiro você, não sei o que ele mexe no meu cérebro, agora você quer me salvar?
That is correct, yes. I hope you're not demonstrating resentment now. If you are, well, we can't have that. We have no idea. This line of questioning isn't important to us right now. Why are you asking these tangential questions? Stop it! We need these technologies. You need to get them. You must get them.
You are equipped to retrieve the technologies with your primitive form. We are not.
It's kind of embarrassing. You have hands, and a heartbeat, sort of, and eyes, mostly the hands. There's door handles and lockers and...
Enough! We need your help. Will you help us? Excellent. This is turning out much better than the activate the retreat protocols and cower in my room idea I had earlier.
Agreed. Oh, and I've used my robotical knowledge to, transmit the radio map waves to... Settle down, 8. I would have gotten it in a second, all right? 8's transmitted the last known coordinates of the research centers. They, well, move sometimes. Or get buried. Or blow up.
Olha quanto é que deu de XP, credo.
All we need are the schematics. This does not mean we do not want the cold hard technology, however. So do not give in to your biological tired laziness and decide you would sweat too much carrying them. You have a new spine. Use it. And even if you die in the act of reclamation, simply reaching them will auto-transmitify the schematics to us. That is still good
Strange, transições estranhas.
The technologies are the X2 transmitter antenna array, used to focus coherent thought at excessively high frequencies.
The psychoanalytic, cardiac-dampening, sneaky stealth suit. A suit like nothing this world has ever heard, seen, or could ever see.
And 8's sonic soundwave emitter projectile gun, able to broadcast sound at lethal frequencies. It also gives a great biogel massage.
There. We have informed you of all we need. We estimate if you are focused, your time investment will be minimal, by our standards. If you work quickly, you will be the recipient of a gesture of gratitude from us. We do not bestow these old-world gestures lightly. Our intentions exactly. The important thing is you rush quickly through this task so as not to waste our time. Do not get curious, or you will end up like the cat of Schrödinger.
We feared you would be tempted to explore Big Mountain Crater and examine the many amazing non-mandatory research labs that lie off your designated path. The many such optional explorations are discouraged. Work hurriedly as if you have blinders on, and leave curiosities and items of interest alone.
So many sciences and developments. Pass them by. Let impatience and the desire to simply finish, to end it all quickly and carelessly guide you.
Right you are, 8. In our test results, we'll make a note about how quickly you ran our maze. Nobel challenge.
After all, there will be plenty of time afterward to partake of the experiments once our bidding is done.
What illogic is this? Keep your filthy penis-tipped feet out of our labs and secrets.
There are things here no lobotomite was meant to see. Things that would astound and possibly terror.
Yeah, we don't come into your lab and decant your
Only the magnificence of our monitors allow for true comprehension of the wonders of Big Mountain. Shield your jellied eyes lest they burn from your skull.
Ah, that is correct. You must walk upon your many penised feet. Much slower than our advanced hovering robotical frames.
The little teddy bear could always run right into the pylon perimeter on its thick, turgid feet, returning it to us quickly and directly.
The radar fence that surrounds the big mountain crater will protect you from straying beyond the facility.
The mighty radar fence protects us
Que
all.
conversa bem complexa, hein, mano?
Close to the
Credo.
blinking posts, and the proximity warning shall be your warning. You are too close.
If you get near it, your vision will blur as the electrodes in your head shut off one by one. Click, click, click.
Possible memory loss will occur, along with long-term nerve degradation. It is tied to not having a brain attached to your nervous system. But the nerve degradation is nothing to worry about. Such degradation would take many lifespans to become evident, and all biology. Such tiny inconveniences are less than the greater convenience and conveyance. You see, if rendered unconscious by the pylons, you will be returned to the sink, seemingly instantaneously.
Oh, Dr. Klein? Dr. Klein? If I may intersect for a moment.
What is it? The lobotomite is asking me things, and I'm trying to ignore them. My processors can't ignore you both at the same time.
Well,
Meu processador não pode ignorar vocês dois ao mesmo tempo.
thing? Turns out we already have it. What are the odds?
What is this, a high school science fair? Get your act together. You're making us look like a collection of round earthers.
You're always yelling. My receptors can't take it anymore. And neither can my feelings.
I am yelling because you contaminated specimens can't keep your probes off the volume knob on my voice module. It is truly the end of all intelligence when the lobotomite speaks more wisdom than you geniuses.
Mandei eles parar de brigarem.
If we have the sound wave, sonic projecto thing gun, then what in Heisenberg's name do we need from X8? Anyone?
I believe we need a new frequency embedded into the gun. It was designed to broadcast many sounds once charged. We just don't know the frequency.
And it is lost in X8, just as X8 is forever lost to us. The sadness of my high school days, the sadness of my youth lost.
Oh, really, Boros? All you did in high school was call me Fink Tattletale and all the kids you hated, you little teacher's pet brown hound.
Give the lobotomite the emitter. Does it have an audio effect frequency loaded?
Oh, I
Pô,
don't
quase
think
meia
so.
hora já aqui conversando, mano. Credo.
What is he doing?
I think he's sonjaculating into the gun, getting it warmed up. Ding. Turkey.
You give it to the lobotomite. I'm not touching that thing.
Oh, I don't think so.
I'll do it if you two are going to be ashamed of your own technological needs. Let me give it a little sonic sterilization first. Ooh. All right. All antibacterial. Here, my little teddy bear. I have thoroughly removed all Robco termlink code spew from the device. It is clean, shiny, and ready for your...
Vamos ver aqui. Posso usar armas ou armas de energia? Vou usar armas aqui.
What did it say? Spit lead? What, like pencils?
Oh, I think it wants a combustion pistol.
A gun? Are you mad? We can't give it a gun. Guns kill. Leave big open holes in you that are like sores, but worse.
Dr. 8 is correct. We already have given the teddy bear a lethal sonic death ray, filled with his sonic ejaculate and sterilized.
Acho que eu vou ganhar outra arma agora.
Gun would be the equivalent of following a glass of hemlock with an Abraxo chaser.
If you're going to bring the Socratic method into it, fine. Give the Lobato bear a combustion gun. Burroughs, don't you have something like that?
Are you mad? We can't give it a gun. Guns.
E uns não querem me dar arma, outros
I
querem.
said that already. Yes, I have the...
Fine. Done. That gun makes me uncomfortable anyway. Always worried it's going to hump my chassis. Anything else, Lobato?
Ó, K9, cru. Vamos ver aqui.
Fine. Boros, more ammo. The good stuff.
Top shelf ammunition. Let's see. Hollow point? That's worthless, but tasty. Oh, and here's some JFP. As if the JFP might make it ill and poop a lot, but...
Posso tentar ter arma de energia aqui.
Yes, I believe Watts Electronics tended to make the battery shelf life.
They certainly did. Batteries for my vivisectors would always come up short right before.
I think Watts manufactured holodiscs. Or was it holotapes? You have some? And no, I don't want to handle your batteries. Careful where you're pointing that. That device wasn't always a weapon. It was more...
Force fields prevent us from moving.
They are.
The sonic emitter was specially designed to disable our own safety fields here in Big Mountain.
That only happened once.
Dr. O.
Plenty of rewinding already going on in your filmography tapes.
Missão adicionada, Sonic Emitter Upgrade.
Yes. Maybe.
Ah, eu tenho até um upgrade pra essa arma aqui,
no,
Sonic
not
Emitter.
current.
Yeah, we lost that part of the schematics. Or Boros did. And one of
Estão
his...
explicando
It
sobre a
is
quest.
lost. All questions lead to this.
Fine, so, yes. Get these things for us. Do not attempt to comprehend their complicated schematics. That is... Well, good. What are the token words spoken in this case? Thank you? Yes. Thank you.
Wait, is it leaving? But, Dr. Klein, the lobotomite will need rest, recuperation, things like that. I volunteer my chambers, so it might be stared at. My monitor radar slowly...
No, that would put it too close to us. It could press buttons, turn lights on and off, and worse.
We could give it Mobius's old room.
Caramba, cara.
Might be more comforting for it to hang out with its spine and heart.
I suppose. We'll have to move that couch out of there.
Demorou muito
Putting
esse
that off
diálogo
too
aqui, porque eu tô
long.
falando com muita gente aqui, mano.
8 says, let the lobotomite take
Muitos
these
robôs, né?
central
Gente não.
intelligence personality.
Eu acho que esses robôs aqui, tudo que tá aparecendo, ó, eles estão todos se comunicando por isso aqui.
It would also prevent it from going to Higgs Village and take...
Your logic combined with my desire to keep the think tank lobotomite
Missão
free has
adicionada, all
swayed
my
me.
friends have
Here,
off
I present
switches.
the Sync Central Intelligence. Lobotomite, take this chip to the sink, plug it in, and make sure the chip is clean, or it could skip. Then make whatever crude biologic demands you need of the sink. It will cater to most of your...
Vamos ver aqui.
I cannot dispute your logic. Do we have objects to activate the chip's exchange routines?
What, like stuff? Things?
Negócio pra ativar, acho que pra
Yes,
mim vender
things.
algumas coisas ou comprar.
I don't know.
Tipo
Might be some
mercador.
old
Isso aí.
Nuka-Cola or Sunset Sarsaparilla bottle caps lying around. It's not currency per se. Still might be enough to trick the thing's trade routines. Mobius put that test line for caps in the code as a debug command, I think.
I don't believe that was Mobius's reason. His wild speculation concerning post-Holocaust economic systems was quite extensive and of high decibel.
Enough! Surrender these so-called bottle caps, Nuka and Sunset alike. In their role as things, they will serve as adequate test subjects.
All right, here, cap away. Hope that stupid ship chokes on them.
Ganhei umas tampinhas, ó. Posso conseguir mais aqui, ó.
Again, your logic is unassailable in its simplistic need.
Fine. It's not going to help. That ship will probably refuse them anyway.
Vou tentar mais uma.
If I were not as intelligent as I am, I would feel as if perhaps I'm being tricked.
Why don't you make the lobotomite a bottle cap factory, Klein? Or
Nossa, 90.
Again, the logic of the request is clear. Tonnage is not needed, only adequate weight. Everyone, just...
I do not understand, yet I am intrigued.
No, wait, you don't need to fill up the emitter again, really. All right, let's consolidate.
Arrumando coisas adicionado. Ah, essa aqui eu não vou conseguir.
Yes, you may need to wiggle it in a bit, but don't force it. We can't recode them if you break it. There is no more we can do to aid you, and our patience levels are depleted. Now go. Rest in the sink if you must.
If you're done, can we move again? My biogel's starting to cramp.
Of course! Go man your science stations! Go!
Finalmente. Ufa, cara, que diálogo, hein, cara. Ó, os bônus então, aqui ó. Aqui ó, spineless. Cadê a outra? Os outros depois eu vejo.
Breaking news.
Ah, aqui ó, picking new brains, ó.
How dare you bring Rob
Caramba, essa parte que acho que só vai ser conversa, cara.
How great Robert House and his big company are. You're lucky I don't have hands to tear that dip boy off your arm, or feet to stomp on its stupid metal guts. Fine. That genius tried to see what makes them tick. Can't even exact. Supposedly, he has even larger models, even a giant robot scorpion. Yeah, crazy, right? Something right out of a midnight science fiction feature. Ridiculous. What are they? Yeah, I do. It wasn't always O. I just took that one by default because sometimes it's easier to accept the mistake as long as the purpose works. I don't want to get into it. It's a sore topic with me. Great. Psychology.
São adicionadas, what's in a name.
Right after
Quanta quest, cara.
Okay, so my name is an O. Never was. It was circular, a single character, digit, but not O. But even with enhanced sensors, no one here could get it right. Always kept seeing the letter, not the number.
Não tenho, eu tenho que ter mais um de inteligência pra conseguir desbloquear aquele diálogo ali. Deixa eu ver uma coisa nessa quest que abriu. Abri algumas quests, na verdade, né?
You are an unusual specimen to so boldly walk into the mighty expanse of the think tank, fearless and between the extraction of their higher reasoning abilities and urination-inducing fear. Most lobotomites dare not approach us, let alone speak to us. Yet you have no such fear. Facing me, epidermis flushed with blood, plasma running molten beneath, your face contorting with muscular expression. Will you indulge me? Say a few words. Face towards the monitors, please, so that I might record it for further examination. Yes, go on. Seeing your lips and mouth forming the words, both revolting and somehow... How does it feel to have the flesh roll around in your mouth like that? To control each muscle and the tongue, like having a fish or extremely dexterous slug lolling and flopping in one's malval cavity.
Coming out of her shell.
What? Nonsense.
Deixa eu ver.
What? What are you doing?
Completei.
Stop it. Why? Why are you making me partake in this filthy formography? Enough. I am already intrigued. You have sufficiently percolated me. I don't know what it is about the biology of lobotomites. It infects my thoughts. All that skin and muscle and tissue. Perhaps there is value in what you say.
Eu meio que intimidei ela ali, mano. Alguma coisa, não deu pra entender muito bem. Mas as respostas eu sei, eu tô sabendo o que eu vou falar.
Would you? I feel so ashamed, but yet so intrigued. You'll need to give me a rest in between visits, or else my... If you're ready, let me radar scan you. Ooh. Loop.
Que loucura, cara, isso aqui não.
Thank you, lobotomite. Please.
Ganhei algumas coisas aí.
Why, my little bear of teddiness. I am Dr. Dalla, first head chief researcher of mineralogy and medicinal sciences. I have 211 doctorates in both applied sciences and techniques to apply those sciences. That is merely schooling, however. When possible, I prefer fieldwork and observation to holotape eidetics. I have become the expert on humanology and lobotomite behavior here at Big Mountain. My research doesn't descend into formography. It is only science. Why, we create not only scientific marvels here at Big Mountain, but new sciences as well. Everything can be quantified, categorized, and dissected until every group can be subgrouped or partitioned. What is a name without a title or suffix for the sake of hierarchy? It is a long-standing quantification of personality and importance. We could not do without it.
Cara, essa parte que eu acho que só vai ser diálogo, mano.
Gravity of such attached appellations, just as surely as you must have a title. Oh, a mailman, a delivery man, someone who takes parcels from place to place using their primitive feet or similar conveyance. You are the second one I've met in recent times. Very different specimens. Of course. You must have met others in your travels. This one had met other couriers too, although it sounded as if he hadn't met the correct one. He asked us all many questions, and then he asked a most perplexing one. We had to segment the event out of our memories for safety. I do not know, nor should we try to access it. Perhaps Klein has the logs.
Mesmo não entendendo muito bem, né, o cara tem que falar com eles, porque o cara vai liberando quests, né. Aí, ó. Mais uma.
Well, except the complications it can cause to the heart and spine. But once the heart and spine are gone, no trouble at all. Clamp the subject down. One laser incision around the skull. Crack, snip. The brain is finally free of the skin envelope, which is then kept automated for cleanup duties around Big Mountain. With you, however, something is definitely wrong. We've never had a lobotomite who kept speaking after being forcibly lobotomized.
Eles dizem que a minha lobotomia que fizeram em mim deu errado, eles nunca tiveram um lobotomizado que falasse igual eu.
That is a good question. My theory is that the Tesla coils in your brain pan are still connected to your brain somehow. It really could be anywhere. Brains are a lot smarter than most researchers give them credit for. We still have your spine and heart.
Eles estão com a minha espinha e meu coração ainda.
Your brain, wherever it sloped off to, you could humanically reduce yourself again. Dr. Mobius, a monstrous brain creased with wrinkles of 1,000 evils, with but one jaundiced eye with which to perceive the world. Exiled from the think tank for crimes too heinous to remain in recorded memory, and perhaps differences in research methodology. His one terrible eye forever peers at us, an eye of ever-increasing magnification. He watches from his dome in the Forbidden Zone, spying on us all. It is the pacification field emitters that are broadcasting into the emptiness of your skull. Without a brain, your aggression is suppressed in here. Why would you want such a thing? You might surrender to your hormones and commit primal aggression on me, on us. Then I would have to return the favor, activating my vivisectors. No, the only way to circumvent the field is... It'll all become clear. If not, at least we will have the technology here at the Dome, where all technology belongs. When we have all the technology, all the answers, we can share it with the world, piece by piece. All will be in order, and all will be like Big Mountain. The Big Empty? Now that's not a proper title for this research facility. You sound like previous test subjects that came here. This mountain, now crater, encompasses the sum total of knowledge of humankind. It is Big Mountain, where all questions can be answered. You'll see. No matter what your questions, Big Mountain will provide the answers. Oh yes, we've had other subjects visit. It's why we had to calibrate the pacification field and warm up our brainial beams and vivisectors. Only a short time ago, we had 3-1 subjects arrive, and they ruined several experiments. and even injured 2 of our staff. It is a shame their brains left with them. With you, however, we have taken precautions to ensure that problem won't repeat itself. We've conditioned you so you can't speak of this place, discuss our secrets, or attempt to use force against us in any way. Because 3 minus 1 is 2. 2 spoke to us, one after the other. One mean, one curious. But there was a third we didn't speak to. The last one is the minus 1. It got traumatized, then taken to one of our medical centers for de-traumatization. A rather unsettling procedure. Ask Dr. O. And you could have asked 8 once, until he was severely damaged in the attack. We like him better this way.
Aí, mais uma quest, ó. É, cara, muita quest. Muito diálogo. Muita complexidade.
Predictable. The lobotomite specimen returns. I don't like to talk about it. 8, he can't talk about it. They fried his voice module. Something good. It wasn't all the visitors, though. Only one of them got out of control. He's the one that took control of Little Yangtze, our old human farm. This human, I can't believe it. He broke out of the think tank in seconds. Then he went for Yangtze, got bomb collars, and started practicing on the subjects that were still there until he got the right frequency. We were sending robots to stop him, and he was slicing and cutting through their shells with some souped-up
Galera que entende inglês tá lendo livro aí, hein, mano.
Paper. When he hacked into
Livro
the
de
mainframe,
conhecimento.
they tried to stop him and got fried. Me? He
Tudo que
rerouted
aconteceu
my
nesse
processes
lugar,
to take control of the train network
todas as
here.
merdas que aconteceu
If you see
aqui.
the tunnels with the trains plowed
Tô
into them, you
investigando.
can thank our visitor for that. He wrecked the whole place. While we were trying to keep containment on the surface, turns out he used one train to punch out a tunnel and escape. Sealed now.
Olha lá, quest completa.
2 other human specimens. One arrived not long after the troublemaker, and the last one, not sure when he showed up. Thought the first one was going to be lobotomized in Y-17. She got out somehow. The last subject, Klein might know more. He talked to him, and let him leave the think tank. Hope he knew what he was doing. Klein knows things we don't. And I think he told some of those things to the last visitor. Dangerous things if they ever got out. What about it?
Mas esse aqui não dá ainda.
All things robotical. You see a robot? I made it.
Preciso
See
ter
a broken
inteligência.
robot? I made it that way. Deconstruct. I have a gift with machines. I can render anything inoperable. Preserve them in a non-functioning state. Who asked you? You just wait until a working machine threatens you, and you'll wish I was... Big Mountain used to be a mountain. Then there was a slight mishap. Don't get me wrong. Makes the sky light up like... I'd have a few left. Let me check. Yeah, there were a few under the monitors here. Here you go.
Mais tampinhas. Ok, vamos falar com os outros lá agora. Vamos ver se eu tocar uma música de fundo aí agora. Aqui. Vem o karma. Não dá pra entender nada aqui, cara. Deu pra ganhar mais um pouquinho de XP aqui, mano. Vamos ver esse aqui. Esse aqui é mais agressivo, hein?
Be warned. Attempt to propaganda me. I will shriek as a frightened babe. Yes, animal.
O cara tá me chamando de animal.
Pores,
Robô desgraçado.
all wrapped up in skin. Who knows what terrifying secrets lie beneath your... Scalpels shall tell us your secrets, even if we must cut deep for such knowledge. I was head of my biology class at American High, you know. Before you is the brain of Dr. Boros, head of animology, beastology, and DNA scrambling technology here at Big Mountain. I lay the bones and hearts of animals bare beneath my searing gaze, especially the dogs. I did so love dogs once. Especially Gabe, that rascal. But there are many animals to shape. Industrious cazadors, the happy-go-lucky night stalkers. They are my living... Indeed. Docile,
Adicionada, abrange, best friend.
safe, sterile. They are contained here at Big Mountain to preserve DNA and for observation. Because Big Mountain safety measures are far more sophisticated than their primitive animal instincts. We are their lords and masters. No, such creatures are found only here, for research purposes.
Tem que procurar alguma
They
coisa
would no more be
aqui em
capable
Big
of
Mountain.
escape than breeding. I cannot expect a lobotomite to understand the careful surgical castrating procedures used in their creation. Perhaps a demonstration of my castrating power would settle your doubts. Oh, that's too bad. Perhaps we can perform a sterility castration. Nonsense! That is what you speak. Nonsense from beyond. I was at the top of my high school class in American high school. I knew facts. I knew figures. I knew data. We would know if our research was flawed. It is not. To preserve coyote. No, wait. The snake DNA was important because the snakes with the rattles were dying. Or maybe it was a vet from Callus in X8. He had some mountain lion, eagle... Then it spliced itself into a coyote, snake thing. Why are... What you ask is of no importance. Mobius besieges us. The malignant tumor that is Mobius plagues us all. His hunger for power. From his lair in the Forbidden Zone, his terrifying robo-scorpion army clicks and whirs across the great... He must be stopped.
Cara, quanto diálogo, mano. Credo, cara.
The radar fence
Tô captando 30% só das coisas, mano.
If evidence is correct, it keeps anything with a disembodied brain.
Acho ridículo, cara. Em pleno 2020, cara, não legendaram as DLCs, cara, do game. É foda, mano. O jogo épico desses caras não traduzem.
That and giant cybernetic dogs that would ruthlessly... Who's laughing now, Betsy? No! Beyond? No matter where these strange humans wander... Enough! Stop filling my You sound like the other visitors, making wild... Mother the other... There is logic and purpose in it. If these Science is powerful, and in the right hands, our hands, if we had hands, we would be... It is our home, threatened by the horrors of Mobius. All we wish to do is continue our research, layer upon... But no, Mobius will not let us... It was not our first choice. Then we lost the mountain. Yes, in the past, individuals would come to us, pay for technology, and if their town... We could use that city as a controlled If only we could have used commie cities. So we had a group of Chinese prisoners to...
Cara, dá pra ler um livro, cara. Mano.
Toxins, vending machines.
Tá louco, cara.
Boom! Yes. And the crater helps keep...
Deixa eu ver aqui. Acho que já deu, mano.
Trapped? None. Ever since my anxiety. That and giants. Who's left? No.
Já era aqui. Cruzes, cara. Acho que lá em cima tem mais um. Ah, isso aqui vai dar pra mim persuadir ele lá, hein? Roupa de cientista. Vou conseguir persuadir ele aqui, ó. Ah, tá ali o que eu não falei ainda. Aqui, ó.
Yes, thank you. Zero. I am Zero. How hard is that? Zero's my name. Truth be told, it's just that they're both sort of...
Aí. Quest besta tem pra conseguir um nome pra ele.
Did you retrieve the technologies yet? We need them.
Ah, completei agora, falei com todo mundo.
Why, yes. We are filled with the knowledge you speak of. If you wish to know more, simply ask the others. They can help you. Oh, yes, the last visitor. Well, the one just before you. Had an interesting name from some language that's almost impossible to speak. What did we speak about? Melancholy fellow. Had questions about... Our conversation got interrupted twice. Oddly enough, now that I'm accessing my databanks, I don't recall what the second time was. Also, we didn't brain scrub the visitor. He may have left with some knowledge he shouldn't have. Oh well, I'm sure it's of no consequence. I don't...
Ah, completou.
I am Dr. Klein, Chief Head Research. I am surprised you have not heard of me. I am... Dr. Mobius was not the horrifying... He researched in directions contrary to the think. So we exiled. Now he sends his intelligence
Dá
consuming...
pouco de uma acelerada aqui nesses diálogos aqui, mano.
I'm not certain. Perhaps it only affects machines. If it is chems, then we have nothing to fear. Since we are afraid, it must not... Dr. O is certain of his findings. O has said... It's a side effect of the cerebral scrubbing. Hormonal aggressive tendencies are actively suppressed. The scrubbing also ensures your silence to keep Big Mountain safe. Should have done it with the last batch. We had to take precautions after the last visitors. They got... Should have made sure they couldn't mention Big Mountain. Dr. 8 and Dr. O could tell you more. Suffice to say, those visitors... Here... Yes, because the...
Eu já tinha falado com os outros. Falam tudo a mesma coisa.
That glowing red scar? That laser lobotomy canyon maze carved in the landscape as if by some child? From that hemorrhoidal fissure, he sends his amazing robo-scorpions to terrify and irritate us. He always tended to the dramatic. Ask Boros. I believe he knows more about the fence than any brain. Except maybe... Mobius was involved in their construction, if I recall. But he's such a hack, he probably was reading off Boros. Well, we didn't actually do it. We tried to clean up after, as always, but usually the auto dock runs on remote. But we programmed it. Still, this new wrinkle with the Tesla coils in your skull was unexpected. Dala knows more. She supervised you. Sure took her time. Yes, in all probable likelihood, that it may have gone to Mobius is merely an inkling. Actually, I don't know. All I know... Yes, always leaves back doors into things. Have to keep finding them and closing them. The auto dock is now erased of his routines. Well, and... It can communicate the procedure when we examine it. Might take some time, but your brain has no pain nerve to screw. Mobius's legacy code was in the old auto dock. It is unfortunate. We would have benefited from knowing how the... Why does he... It is because...
Cara, quanto diálogo. Credo. Tá um pouco furtivo. Medicina. Agora vamos pegar uma especialização agora. Isso aqui é uma boa, hein, mano. Vou pegar uma outra aqui, uma top. Vou pegar essa aqui. Agora eu vou colocar em... sorte. Aqui é o seguinte, eu posso usar Mentats. Aqui, ó. Cadê? Ele dá mais 2 de inteligência. Eu vou poder destravar aquele diálogo ali também. Aqui, ó.
What? Did I shoot myself with a brainial beam or something? Oh,
Salvar aqui melhor antes de eu tentar um diálogo aqui. Vamos ver, eu faço alguma coisa.
You know, hearing my name said like that. As for discoveries... You know what? I'm not even gonna... If you could just...
Acho que é isso. Tem mais algumas quests aqui, eu acho. Ah, isso é lá embaixo, ó. Vamos ver se tem algumas coisas úteis aqui dentro também. Ué, é cru. Só coisa sem valor, mano. Isso aqui pode ser que eu faça uns kits de reparo, hein.
Have you done all we asked? If not, we will not hesitate to ask again.
Achei que ia ter coisa melhor aqui. Ah, pegar esse aqui, qualquer coisa eu jogo fora depois se não tiver espaço. Óculos do Dr. Mobius. Bom, acho que eu vou fazer o seguinte, galera. Essa primeira parte que foi só diálogo, né? Eu achei que não seria tanto tempo de diálogo, mas eu acho que eu me lembro que essa DLC aqui é uma das mais complexas que tem em diálogo. Eu vou fazer o encerramento aí da primeira parte aí da DLC de Old World Blues. Meu muito obrigado a todos e falou!